Okay then, so Germans have lost a unit there, which means both Russian, of course. I'll take a dice out for the Germans, and that symbolises 1-0 to the Russians. Put those Russian dice back in there. So, next dice. Russian. I think before it moves and then shoots, we'll have another bash at this tank with the inexperienced squad. So there's still 10 men there. They have lost 2 men casualties, but we started off with 12. So hitting on 4, 5s or 6s, and then like I say again, we roll the d6 and see what the crack is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think that's a better roll than last time. Yeah, it is a better roll than last time. So that's 6 added on to whatever this dice roll is to see if we penetrate. And that's another 6 they've rolled again. Can you see these dice on there? That's 6 plus 6 is 12. The armor is 9, so it's definitely another penetrating hit. Can they get something other than a 1? No, they can't. It's, oh my word. But the crew is stunned. They can't do anything this turn, so I'll take a German dice out of the bag. Put it next to the tank. The tank has to go down. Oh, the tank actually takes pins as well, doesn't it? So it's got a pin from last turn, last stunned, and a pin from this stunned. And it's gone down. I mean, even if the inexperienced squad just pins that tank to death, really, like pins it every turn, you know, it's kind of taken that tank out for no points, which is still fabulous. But you know, the Germans aren't wiped out yet, and it doesn't give the Russians a point. But you know, the 1-0 up. See how it goes there. So another Russian. Oof. Technically, the Germans have drawn 2 dice. One that for the destroyed unit and one for the tank there. Yeah. Russian. So the tank's not going to shoot at the T-34. The armoured car could. MG team doesn't have anyone to shoot at. The mortar doesn't have anyone to shoot at. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run the mortar through the woods and just behind this hill here. 9, 12, that's perfect. Through the trees and just there. I'll hope to try and get in range of a few shots, because that artillery is chasing those Germans, like I say, like a Benny Hill movie. Oh, Russian dice are dropped. Another Russian dice. You know what? The MG team is going to go into ambush, because if those German infantry come forwards, they can shoot at them like out of sync kind of thing. So ambush is. They can interrupt an enemy's turn to shoot at them. Another Russian problem. There are German ones still in there, aren't there? Yeah. The observer, he's done his duty, so I'll just pull the observer back to the observer's just going to pull back behind the trees. He didn't get shot by anything. Give an easy point to the Germans. Another Russian. This isn't I go you go game by the looks of it. Right, let's try and rally some pins off the tank. Now it's got 4 pins, so for a regular order that would be -4 to the morale check. But when you do a rally, you do it at their base level. So they just need to get, we need 10. And they do, they get a 7. And it's D6 plus 1 pins. So they've taken off 5 pins, so they've taken off all their pins from the tank, which is fantastic for them. We were on 4, now they're on nothing. So it's free to operate next turn. Could the armoured car get round that? Get round the corner and have a pop at it this turn? Perhaps that's the plan for the Germans, but we'll see what the crack is. Germans need something. Now they lost one of their big squads. They do have a dice. They only have a dice. And yeah, let's so vehicles can pivot. I think tracked vehicles can do 2 pivots, and sorry, tracked do 1 pivot per turn, wheeled do 2. And we'll see exactly how far that armoured car can move. Yeah. Half tracks and wheeled vehicles can do 2 90-degree pivots. As an advance and 1 as a run. Track can only do 1. A wheel vehicle can go 12 inches, so let's see if that gets them a shot against the T-34. So the pivot, yeah, like so. Yeah, it will do, yeah. 12 inches and then tick, 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 tick. I think he's got a whole mounted machine gun as well, which I'll double check. Another pop at something. He doesn't. No, he's got coaxial MJ. So the coaxial would have to shoot in the same general direction as the turret gun. If it was a hull mounted, he could shoot this way, this arc, but he has to shoot this arc because it's the same arc as the main armament, which is a medium anti-tank gun, which is obviously less powerful than the heavy anti-tank gun. It only has +5. So we'll shoot that first, and then the machine gun will shoot at, I'd say these are in cover, out of line sight, sorry, but he's going to shoot at the squad that won the close combat with the MG. So shift him out of the way. Let me see all that on there. So he's within half range, definitely within 30 inches, which is half range for a medium gun. And he's also within half range of the MG as well, so he won't. He's moved, so that's a -1. I think that's all. Yep. It's -1 for the tank because it's in open, but it'll be -3 for the hardcover for the squad. So, so he hits the tank on a 4, he misses, rolls a 3. Is that on table? Yeah, you can see it there. That's no good. And then he gets these 6 medium machine gun shots for being German, and these need 6s, 3s, 4s from moving. Yeah, 6s for these. Not a single one. Not a single sausage. Unlucky. Unlucky. Because now that T-34 is free next turn to do what it wants. Right. Interesting. So no hits, no pins given to any of them either. So James finally get a dice and doing out. It's another German dice. Now the German commander's just behind here. If he runs this way, he'll get shot at by the MMG. If he stays there, he's going to get clobbered by the SMG squad. They will dish out more shots than the MMG will. So he's going to run back into the woodland because he's got no one to support now. So I'll give them there. It's a 12-inch run. But because they will cross the line of sight of the MMG, I'll move them there, but I've got a feeling they're going to get shot by the medium machine gun. Now it's a Russian medium machine gun, so he only gets 5 shots. I'll check the range of where they would have been shot. It's 22 foot, so the over half range definitely. So that's another -1. The small team, -1 for, they'll catch them in the open, so they won't get a cover save for being in the woods. So -1 for range, -1 for small team. So that's 3s up to 5s. Oh, and there's 3 hits. 2 of them were 6s as well. So I'll quickly roll these. To see if they're hits on the. Do you do it on the wounds? I think you do it on the wounds. Right. So the saving for the veterans. So they save on a 3+. Yeah. Save on a 3+. So one of them is dead. And we'll see if it's the. No, it's not. So it's a pin on the lieutenant, and he's lost his buddy, his little SMG partner. Oh, no shells, we thought out. Not many dice left. A Russian. This squad here hasn't moved. So this squad here going to move into the you see that? Yeah, this squad into this cover here. very advance them and shoot at anything. That there isn't anything that can actually kill. You can't shoot rifles at tanks. You can shoot at soft skin vehicles and give them pins, but it's useless shooting at armoured vehicles. You're not allowed to pin them. You're not allowed to shoot them. So you can't give them pins. So let's stick the LMG. There's a loader at the edge there, and the other one. And the next one. He's an observer, he's going nowhere, he's already moved. Let's get them into cover, and if anything comes through that tree line, they can shoot at them. Yeah. Done diddly done. 3 dice left, I think. I said that last time there was 4, but German dice. Now that is right in the centre of the so the artillery is coming in right in the centre of the trees there. I think these guys are going to get caught wherever they go, so I'm going to run them. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to run them. Where to? I'll run them back in this direction towards the inexperienced squad. Don't have any hits, any pins, so no test required. Just look where this tree is here, measured it. So I'll say that they are close enough to the edge of the forest to be shot at, but they can also shoot out. And they haven't got very far away from that, I must admit. I wonder if you ever see a ghost in the background, please, because my house is a bit haunted. Weird stuff does happen. Germans. And I will just go down with the observer. If he comes out of cover, he'll get shot at, and he's going to get hit by that artillery, I believe, sometime soon. It's inevitable. But if he's down, it halves the hits against him, so it's not too bad. And then I believe there is 1 dice left. It's Russian, and it's the Russian commander. Level pick. Russian commander will just go behind the trees here. If this wasn't a scenario where it was kill points, if there was an objective or something, you'd be more proactive with your small teams. Maybe not the commanders, but definitely the observers and stuff like that. Try and sort this out. Tighten this up so it doesn't. Camera keeps saying about. Yeah, you'd be more proactive with your units, small units. The observers after they fired, for example. Pick these dice back up. even the ones that went down, I'll pick them up, and it's an extra dice in the bag for the Germans, for example. Test for that artillery, and then units have the option of going down anywhere. Just double check I've got all the dice. So there should be 5 Germans now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and still be 8 Russian. Russian. They're all in there, give me a good old shaky shake. Let's see who comes out first. Alright, this should be interesting. It's a Russian, and the T-34 has to do it really. First of all, he's going to pivot, so he's not on his side armour to the bloody do that. Puma. And then he's going to, and because he's, should he? No, I'll keep him like so. I can't move the turret. I think we've just broken it. So turret does move, kind of. And he's going to fire. I think if he pivots, that counts as movement, so that would be -1 to his shooting. But for moving turrets, pivoting turrets, you don't get that -1. He does have a coaxial, but I don't think anything's in range. Right. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself as ever. Let's see if the artillery comes in. So 1, miscalculation. 2, 3, the Russian player moves it. 4, 5, 6, fire for effect. Russians get to move it again. Just going to move it. They can move it up to 12 inches, so just going to move it there, so it's equidistant to the commander on his Todd, the observer, and that squad. And now see if it comes in next turn. So now we'll resolve the tank shooting. So now the tank could move within 6 inches and get +1 to its shooting. Then if it misses, the Puma has +1 as well to shoot back, because that +1 would negate the -1 for movement. But I'll just keep it as it is. So it's a straight 3 up really, and it's a 6. That's a hit, and it's on the side armour. Now the armoured car has weaker armour, obviously. Its armour is only 8+. Because it's on the side, that's 7. So the heavy anti-tank gun is +6. So if I roll a 1, it's a glancing hit. Anything above that, it's a penetrating hit. That's a 4, can you see that? Yeah. It's a penetrating hit. Let's see what happens. Up to now I've rolled how many? I think 3 crew stunned rolls in a row for penetrating hit. That's a 2, so that's something different. I'm going to have to read. I'm going to have to look that up. I don't think it's not an explosion. 4+ it would be a gold ban. 1 is stunned. 2 is immobilized, so he can't move anywhere. If it gets immobilized again, the crew jumps out and it's considered knocked out. You also roll for turret jam. So on a 4, 5 or 6, the turret will stay locked. No, turret's fine for the, but it is immobilized. So he takes a pin. Now something I've just realised, when I moved this squad off the down the hill into the, I didn't check to see if they were past their morale to do so. So I'll quickly do that now. They're fine, that's a 6. So they lose that pin. Right. So it immobilised it. I think also it can't do it. It's like stunned as well, I think. I'll double check. Can you shoot back? Add one additional pin marker, so he gets hit and then it's one additional pin marker. If the vehicle has already taken an action, turn the order diver down. It hasn't yet. Right, so it can still draw a dice and have a shot. We'll have a -2 morale check to that. It doesn't say he has to draw dice and go down, only if he's already drawn a dice, which is interesting. Ready. Another Russian. We'll go for the seemingly obligatory closest. My camera stopped recording there for some reason, sorry. So let's have another assault. Still got 10 men. So it's 10 attacks, maybe 4 5s or 6s. 1 2 3 4. Only 4 this time. So a 5 is a glancing hit, a 6 is a penetrating hit. You got a 3, so that's nothing. So they haven't done any damage at all to that tank, and it doesn't get a pin either. It's still on 2 pins, but it can draw a dice, pass its morale check, reverse, take a shot at the T-34 with the main gun, or hose these down with 2 MGs, which it might do. We'll see, we'll see. Tanks can assault the infantry, I believe, and cause tank shock or something. Or is that an old version of 40k? I think I'm a bit confused. I'll look it up if needs be. I don't think I'll do it though. Like I say, I'll finish them off with MG for you. Speaking of MG, right, the mortar will take a pop shot. Can have a shot. 12 inches is there. Anywhere between 12 and 24 you can shoot. So if it goes a little bit further, yeah, you can hit. A couple of gauges back there. We'll say 2. We'll see if he hits first. Needs a 6 to hit. Gets a 5. Unlucky. I'll leave the 5 there just in case they don't move and they have another shot next turn. Mortars can be effective. Not so much light mortars. It's a German dice. I think it's Puma time. We'll see. Should we go Puma or Panzer? We'll go Panzer actually. I'm just going to give him a fire order, but he needs to pass that morale check. Obviously veteran, 10 down to 8. He needs 8 on the dice. He's got a 7. He's passed that. He's got -1 still, which does affect the shooting. It also gives him -1 to shooting. So he's going to shoot his main gun at the T-34 side armor. Maybe I should have turned that T-34. And then one of his MGs into this squad here. Point blank range as well, so he'll get +1 to hit for that. But he's at over half range for the T-34. So it's a 3, up to a 4 for the pin, up to a 5 for the range. So he needs a 5 to hit. No, he only rolls a 3 for the main gun. And his MMG is 6 shots because he's German. 6 shots because he's German, needing 2s to hit. And they've all hit. So, inexperienced, their save throw is a 5+. So 4th save. That's quite good. They've lost 2. They take a pin. Because they've lost, they should have tested earlier on actually when they were in the woods, sorry. They've lost casualties to shooting, so they'll take a morale check at the end of the turn. So what I'll do is I'll leave 2 dice next to them to remind me. Oh, I'll fucking forget. Alright. The Panzer killed a couple of Jerrys. Going to do exactly the same with the Puma now. I'm going to try and pass the morale check and then shoot at the tank, and the MMJ will shoot at the, well, the MMJ can shoot at this squad in the cover actually. It's only light cover for that team now. Let's see if he can pass his morale. 10 down to 8. No, he's rolled an 11. Now, if he'd rolled a natural 12, you don't add the 2 on to make it up to 13. But if I'd rolled a natural 12, he would have foobarred there. And there's a possibility that he just charges forward, or he shoots at the nearest friendly unit, which would be this squad here. But, as I say, he didn't. He rolled an 11. So he's failed that order. And he simply goes down. He's left him open to an attack for next turn. Russian dice. Like I said, this squad can be seen and can shoot. So I'm going to open up with the machine gun on them. 5 shots for a Russian medium machine gun. Half range is 18. Oh, they're just out of half range, so it's +1 to hit. So that's 3s up to 4s. They're in light cover, so that's 5s to hit. So 5 shots needing 5s. And that's alright, 2, one of which is a 6. So casualties they take, veterans, so it's 3 ups. They're both saved. We'll double check actually, because if I remember rightly, medium machine guns are +1. No, it's not. Like heavy machine guns are +1 to the 10 rolls, which means it will be +1 to the saving throw, but it's not. It's heavy machine guns I'm thinking of, and that's a medium. So no casualties caused, but they did hit them, which means they've pinned them. Another Russian dice. Right, now ski. The postman dog's gonna growl. I'll have a weed more, one of the two. We've got the 7 minutes left on me. On me viewing capability before I have to upload it onto the internet. So I'll quickly do this. These are going to charge. Run order. I'm going to charge the Puma now. They don't have any pins now. They passed that last turn to move. So I'm just going to move these in. The Puma can't shoot back because he's down. And he didn't move, well, he moved last turn. He hasn't moved this turn because he opted to just shoot, didn't he? So these, one, two, three, 4. Yeah. So there's 10 of them, just like we've been doing over here. 10 tacks, hitting on 4, 5s or 6s because the Puma didn't move this turn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, which isn't too bad because the armour is an 8 for them, for Puma. So 5 plus 4 is 9, that's a penetrating hit. Another penetrating hit. And that's a 4, that's a destroyed vehicle. I do believe, I will double check. Knocked out, vehicles is destroyed, becomes a wreck. It doesn't blow up and kill anyone nearby, it's just kaput. We'll take the dice, 2-0 to the Russians. Anyway. That's how you do it. Right. Right, I'm going to pause it here so I can upload this on YouTube. So, that little action over. Move on. Next dice, not many dice left. Well, actually, I was halfway through, actually, yeah. Germans. What have the Germans got left? The commander, the observer, who are very much in the process of hiding. Right. Yeah. Okay. So just tilt this switch sideways for the next bit. The squad that's in the trees, I'm going to get them to charge the inexperienced squad and try and save that Panzer IV. It'll be run order, but they will need to pass a test. They've got a pin. So I will here for the test. That's fine, to 6. They pass that, they lose the pin. Run order. Let's place it over here. And move them in. They're definitely within 12. Like I said before, these don't need to be touching each other for close combat, or it's not like 40k. I think it says something in the rules like, you know, squad mates who are close by, you know, lending, you know, short range fire support and stuff like that, represent that. So now the inexperienced squad are out in the open, so they're not in rough ground, which means that the Germans will fight first in this case, and then if there are any Russian survivors, because it's veterans against inexperienced, and yeah, we'll see if the Russians manage to fight back at all, really. How many Russians are left? I think there's only 8, isn't there? 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 Russians are left. Well, I left one in the woods somewhere, maybe. I thought they'd only taken 4 casualties, but perhaps not. How many Germans? Oh no. Yes, 7. Oh no, there's 8 Russians, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a full squad of Germans. There should only be 10 Germans in each squad, but there's 11 in this squad for some reason. I believe. I will double check my army lists. Yeah, 10-man squads. I wonder how many win. Win that other squad. that it matters much, but ready. So the Germans were all first, and there were 10 of them. The sergeant has a submachine gun, so he gets 2 dice. He also has tough fighters because of that submachine gun. So I'll roll his attacks separately. So these kill on 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 3 plus. That's 2 kills. Tough fighters means you can re-roll these. So he's killed 4 altogether. Interesting. And the other 9 chops. That's 4 casualties. That's wiped out. That's a cock dice, but yeah, that's the Russian inexperienced squad. Biting off a little more than they could chew. Really. Looking at casualties over here. The Russians have only lost 4 men from it. Oh yeah, I found them, didn't I? Does anybody else wish one to themselves all the war game? To tell the truth, I don't usually play solo games, and when I do, there's a camera out, so I'll make that my excuse for talking to myself. And the dice makes it 2-1 to Russian. The Soviets. So the infantry squad saved that tank. They are kind of in the open now as well. But most things have shot and moved for the Russians this turn. So with that in mind, next dice, Russian. Yeah, there's the infantry squad which won its close combat last turn. What will they do? Will they go hunting? They will go hunting. Or will they? No, I'll have them go down in that terrain for now. If they do come out of this terrain, because that's rough going, it would only be a half move, so they probably wouldn't get to this tree line here, which means they'll be opened up with machine gun fire from the Panzer and maybe even that squad of infantry, and they are down to 5 men as well, so that could be a fairly easy dice, although they are elite. They are veterans, sorry, not elite. So they would have quite good saves, but yeah, they'll just go down. In fact, looking at the table, there's only the HQ units left for both sides. So there should be 2 dice left each, I think. Yeah. And they're all going to go down, all those 4. So let's return dice to the back. Missing a Russian dice as usual. That's right in front of me as usual. There we go. So yeah, there's 7 Russian dice and 4 German dice left. And this is turn 5. With the Germans killing the inexperienced squad, brings them right back into the game, and it frees up that tank. Plus, there's a little tiny mortar team right in front of them, and if they can knock them out, they've tied the game. Yeah. Despite losing armour car and the big infantry squad, they're still in the game. Now the tank, the T-34, as you can see, has an infantry squad in between it and its target. Now that would give them give the tank light cover, I believe, in the rules. Or at least that's how we've played it in the past. It doesn't matter how many squads, you don't add up cover bonuses. So what shall I do? It's been a very close combat kind of game, this. Not been a great deal of good shooting. The tanks have basically stunned each other, or even when they've been attacked, they've been stunned. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to now, if I open up with this machine gun against that squad, I would give that squad light cover for the... It's not a massive hill, but it is obscuring most of the figures. Not totally obscuring, but you know what I mean. Tactically, really should pull... Yeah. I'm going to pull the mortar squad back into the woods, or even back behind the woods so they can't get shot. To run for them. So it's saved them from getting assaulted or even just shot to death by that German infantry squad there. Denied the Germans an easy point. It's the aim of the game, really. Russians again. Right. Going to open fire with this squad against the Germans. Now, line of sight wise, that hill doesn't block all that many of the Germans, so it will be open ground. Fire order. That squad doesn't have any casualties, does it? The 2 LMGs. Now the LMGs are 4 dice each for the Russians, so I might do those first. The range of the LMG is 36, so if they're within half range, I believe they might be, they are, and they're within 12, they're not within 12, so the rifles will be at long range, so they'll be +1 to hit, but the LMGs aren't at long range, so that's not +1. You don't have any pins, so yeah, veterans, well, not that that matters with shooting much, but I think inexperienced squads are -1 for shooting, but alas, they're not alive anymore. Straight up 3, so that's 2 misses, so that's 6 hit. I'll have to remember that. So that's 6 hits. Now there are, the sergeant has a rifle, and there are 7 infantry. 2 of those infantry are loaders, so that means only 5 can shoot, and the sergeant is another 6 shots. And these are hitting on 4s because they are long range or over half range, which is another 2, so that's 8 hits altogether. on the rules, before I rolled those dice, the German player would have been able to go down with his troops. It means pulling the dice out of the bag, giving them a down order, and that is effectively putting them into hard cover. So that would be -2. Sorry, that would halve the shots, half the hits. Sorry. So this 8 will be 4 hits. I believe that's all right. If I remember rightly. But anyway, yes. So they save on 3s because they are veterans. So that's 1 casualty, and of course a pin for being hit in the first place, and 1 Gadgie dead. This is the new Gadgie squad now. The others dead. And that is that resolved. Another Russian. Right. I will put the medium machine gun into ambush in case that squad decides to run over that hill towards these woods. Puts that machine gun in a decent position to open fire on them fully in the open and less than half range. So yeah. Another Russian. There are German dice in there. I did put them in there. Honestly, Gav. Right. It's going to be a tricky shot, obviously, but the T-34 will open fire. Actually, that reminds me, earlier on where I was talking about the coaxial machine gun being able to shoot at the infantry. Now, it didn't kill any of the infantry, so it was fine, you know what I mean? However, didn't cause any pins either. A coaxial gun means you can either shoot the main gun or the coaxial gun. You can't shoot them together. You can shoot a gun that's in the turret, so either coaxial machine gun or the main armament, and a hull mounted gun. So for instance, the Panzer IV and the T-34 have hull mounted machine guns and a main gun on the turret. The Puma didn't. So I made a foobar there, I made a mistake. So yeah, it reminds me. Yeah. Now the T-34, does he have a, looking on the model, let me just check the rules. It does have a forward facing hull mounted. No, nothing's, no. His medium machine gun won't, nothing's in the arc of fire for him. Everything else in cover and whatnot. Oh, crap on it. I've forgotten the artillery barrage, haven't I? Right. Well, it's not going to affect, it may have affected that squad there. Right. But it's not going to affect this shot. So the T-34 is going to have a shot at the Panzer. Panzer has light cover now because of the intervening infantry. So that will be a 4 to hit. It's over 8, less than half range. So that's a hit. On the side armour, armour of the tank is 9 down to 8. It's a heavy anti-tank gun, so that's +6. So whatever this is, +6. It's 4 +6 is 10. So that beats the armour of the tank. It's a penetrating hit. Does it do anything? It's a 5. It's a destroyed Panzer IV. Wow. Boom. Shakalaka. Don't know where that came from. And I'll finally get to see German dice because I have to pull one out now for that kill Makes it 3-1 to the Russians. Right, let's resolve the artillery, shall we? Which we should have done about 10 minutes ago. Does it come in? What happens? It's a 4, fire for effect. 4, 5 or 6, it comes in. So it's D6 plus 6 inches. I'll double check this. The area around the aiming point is plastered with heavy shells. D6 plus 6 inches of the aiming point. So that's the aiming point. We can see how many inches? 2. So that's the 8 inches. So I don't think that's going to hit the Russian squad. But it will hit both the... No, it's not going to hit anything else other than the German senior lieutenant or lieutenant and the observer team. So on a 1 to 5 they take a certain amount of pin markers. On a 6 they get absolutely blasted by artillery. So the lieutenant, it's a 5 pins. Observer 6. Oh, that probably kills them because it's classed as a heavy howitzer, I do believe. Right, so D3 pin markers for the lieutenant. So that's 2. And the 4-inch template, so that's definitely going to hit both of those. So anything, yeah. Weird noises going on in the house. Yeah, anything but 1s, I think. Oh, yeah, they're both dead. Both dead. It's got a pen value of +4 as well, so that will kill them outright. And he has another. He has another 2 pins, so that's 3 pins for him. Now there are noises going on. Can you hear them, Doug? On the stairs. I don't know if you can hear them on the camera. The dog's reacting to them. You'll hear him growl. Bit of ghost hunting there. That's a car outside, I do believe. It's quite late at night, so there shouldn't be noises on my stairs. Right. So, well, that's another German unit destroyed. So I'll take another German dice out. That's 4-1. Oh, and I forgot the Russians rule where you roll 2 dice for the distance covered and you choose the highest. So 5 would have been 11. Would that reach anyone else? No. 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 Right. The Russians well and truly in the driving seat here. I knew it's a diving seat, whatever the hell on earth. What do the Germans have left in reality? They've got one large squad with 1 pin. The commander has 3 pins on him and he's on his own. I think I'm going to call it at this point. It's 4-1 to the Russians. Well, about halfway through turn 5, and the Germans, like I said, they got one effective squad against most of the Russian force. They could charge forward to get hit by the machine gun. They could retreat into the woods, but they'd only get hit by other stuff, and the Russians have a lot of infantry over this side, and yeah, I'm going to call it there. It's a canny game. I'm bound to have got lots of stuff wrong. I know I've got bits and pieces wrong. I've been videoing this in small increments, so I can upload them onto YouTube a bit at a time and then make a bigger video. So this will probably be like 3 hours long in total at the end, but it's taken like 3 days to film as well because I've had a lot of other stuff to do here and there. But yeah, bolt action. If you've never played it, I highly suggest you find someone who plays and get a game with them. It's entertaining. It's a little bit random now and again, and you've seen how much I enjoy charging with units. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, that inexperienced squad, how many times did it sun that tank? Should have killed it, but alas, in the end the T-34 took it out. And yeah, I'm chuffed with that. Don't know how many more games I'm going to get in this room because I've got to move soon. So, been looking at places, and room's a little bit smaller, so yeah, we'll see. But anyway, if you watch this, then thanks, and ciao for now.